Cancel.
Schweezy.
How come almost every pop song is about the singer being / having been in a toxic relationship? I don't listen to radio or whatever, but every time I am forced to listen to some mainstream music, the song is quite literally almost about somebody either being stuck in a toxic relationship, finally being over the stupid toxic ex, and how you don't care anymore. Meanwhile, though, singing a whole song about the ex and trying to rub it in some shit. Crying about a toxic ex, sometimes feeling like they are singing directly to the ex while being all whiny about it, or toxic friends and people in general. On the other hand, somewhat glorifying mental issues. Heard the song where the guy literally says, honestly, you and me, we don't need no therapy. The fuck is that? And generally just promoting shitty and way over the top hedonistic lifestyle choices, but I guess that's nothing new. Why is that? As a songwriter myself, I think I am the appropriate one to answer. So, when I write, I'll say this first. When I write music, I try to be the person, I'm going to write from my own experiences. I'm not going to try to, make up a goddamn fucking situation that isn't real to make a song out of it and to see if I could make a sale. That's me when I write music. However, a lot of these pop artists, and especially with the writers they put in the room with them, to help them write said song, are either normal people who have to deal with this shit, or they're just people who are very good at turning a phrase, writing a song, etc., etc., etc. So that's the people. You have to just understanding the industry. I know the people who are in the room when these songs are written. So there's obviously there's an idea of maybe someone in the room who's helping write this song is going through the situation. Maybe the actual artist is going through the situation. Not super hard. And also don't think just because they wrote one song about it doesn't mean they're also writing a bunch of other songs about it. That's why maybe one artist wrote 3 or 4 songs that also kind of sound like they were in a toxic relationship with someone and they were very mean to them and they weren't a very good person to them in this relationship. And so they wrote a couple songs about it. They wrote a bunch of songs about it. That's it. They wrote a whole fucking album about it. It's not that uncommon, stuff like that. Sometimes, and then you also think about relationships in general. Sometimes you date someone who is a toxic person, but they're not necessarily a actual toxic person. They're just a toxic person ... to you. And so then, you have something to write songs about. So, you get people who have been in that and they kind of understand that. But you also have to understand at the same time, we are very creative people. And so we have to figure out the idea of wordplay, how words will work. And then you also have this idea of, I get certain lines stuck in my head and I, write certain things. I think I mentioned forever ago, I wrote a line that was, you weren't my cup of tea. You may not have been my cup of tea, but I'm more into coffee. Something like that. That's a good line. Stuff like that. There's so many different lines. I'm just thinking on the top of my head right now. That's the first one that came to my mind. Just songwriters like that. So you can't have that. You also have the idea of you have to write music that is relatable. For these artists who are just trying to write a song that's going to be a hit, you have to realize to be a hit, a lot of people have to like it, and a lot of people have to relate to said song. That is how music works. So if the people have to relate to songs, what are people very much going to relate to? Toxic relationships. What do you think about toxic relationships? Well, we think about how our phones, how the internet, and how everything like that has really made kind of really ruined relationships and stuff like that. We're I'm not saying that it's the ruiner of relationships, but people want someone who's worthy enough to be on their Instagram, worthy enough to help them be famous and stuff like that, worthy enough to, be idolized and shit like that. And every I meet women, they're I want to be an Instagram model. So they post these photos, trying to be a fucking model. I'm I don't think you're ugly, but at the same time, you're not hot. You're not going to be an influencer. You're not going to become an influencer. Influencers are for people who are born naturally hot and have no talent. That's what an influencer is. You kind of have to get over that. So, yeah. And so, and also just the internet's made a lot of people toxic, and stuff like that. It's just, people are okay, I like you, but I kind of want to see if I have a better option, now with online shopping, we're like, I'm looking for the best deal, and we like search for that best deal. We made relationships like that, and it's just kind of, it really is pretty fucking toxic. So I hope those are good reasons. I hope I actually went into good like songwriter reasons. I think we're always trying to write the what's going to relate to most audiences and how the internet's kind of taken over, and you know how toxic relationships are kind of really been taken over because people have become toxic because of the internet and all the shit like that. So yeah. Hey there, you just checked out a highlight from Cancel Schweezy. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you learned something and that you are now a smarter individual. Just so you know, we have full episodes and other many highlights available now. Click here for the next best thing that you can go check out as well. And make sure you press that subscribe button and press that notification bell. That way you get updated anytime we make a new post or anytime that we make a new highlight or full episode. So thank you, honk if you love butt drugs, and stay awesome.